Hello, dear teachers. Welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the oral practice in our English classroom. So let's get to it. First of all, I would like to remind you who I am. My name is Jimena Barrenti. I'm from the province of Buenos Aires. I have been teaching English for 18 years now, almost 19 in November. I have taught in kinder, primary, secondary, and to adults. I have worked in private schools, bilingual schools, language schools, and public schools. And today I am currently working at two public schools. And I love what I do, so I hope I can share a bit of my knowledge with you. If you want your students to speak in English, you must give them a reason why they should do so. It's not like spontaneously they are going to speak in English if they have nothing to say. So, what I like doing is situational dialogues. For example, this is a unit I invented for primary school in the province of Buenos Aires, right? So the unit is about food. So a situational dialogue could be at a restaurant. So you should always give your students an example so they can have a model which they can look at when they have to create their own dialogues with their classmates. And in order to provide a better example, I would suggest that you A, read the whole dialogue by yourself as a teacher. B, take a very good student to help you read the other character of the dialogue. Or C, take two good students who help you read the complete dialogue and you don't participate in it. And then you must let the students know that they have to invent their own dialogue just by changing some words, and they can invent what they would like to buy or eat in the restaurant and how much they would have to pay. Another example of a situational dialogue is, for example, at a clothing store. This is a project which I invented for another teacher, which is related to fashion. And I came up with this idea of inventing a dialogue at a clothing store because it is something that any of us can like. It is a very common daily situation going to a clothing store and asking for a pair of jeans or a t-shirt or whatever. Again, my piece of advice would be the same, to read the dialogue or have students read it and then telling students that they have to change whatever they need to change so they can role play their own dialogues. And the last example of this set is at a travel agency. I created this unit for my students, which is called Holidays. So when you are reaching the end of the unit, you can have students to role play a dialogue like as if they were at a travel agency and choose where they want to go. Maybe if it is secondary school, they can even Google how much a flight costs to whatever they want to visit or a hotel. I mean, you can expand it as much as you want. I think it is really, really interesting for your students, especially. And the one I did last week, I work at a technical school, so I told my students that they had to pretend they were at a hardware store and they had to go and buy one of the things or one of the fixings that we were studying in the unit, like bolts or washers or spanner or screws and the like. So I wrote down the dialogue on the board and then I went near them and I listened to their dialogues. So they didn't get ashamed or of speaking in English in front of their classmates. That's why I went near them. It was a real challenge. They had never had to do something like this in English. So I told them, you're learning a language, so you need to speak. So, we will continue doing this. And I made emphasis in some words which like they needed to remember the pronunciation. And I told them that they could write down the pronunciation as they could, if you wanted, if they wanted to remember it, like need, for example. Yes, it's not read like ned. Um, or size, no cise. So the understanding or the production of the dialogue was a bit polished, let's say, or that was my aim. And the here you are, thank you. That was the thank you wasn't difficult, but the here you are, yes. So if you're interested in buying any of the units which I have shown you, or in sending me a WhatsApp, or checking out my Instagram page, you can visit my website, which I leave here, and I'll see you around. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.